It's live on lockdown time as we travel up to Mpumalanga and across to Middelburg, very close to the Farm Jam track as well, as we catch up with the future of quad racing, one of the kids that we've seen coming on strong the last couple of seasons. Welcome, Clayton Botha, onto a nice chat with Matt. How are you feeling up there?
Fine, thanks, and you?
Yeah, no, we're all good, dude. Just obviously want to get out to the tracks and actually see you guys in your natural habitat. What have you been up to during the lockdown process so far?
Just every weekend riding as lockdown level 3 comes and busy doing schoolwork and everything.
I see you posted something the other day. You went out doing a little bit of motocross training. It looks like the dirt tracks motocross track is getting absolutely hammered up there at the moment.
No, it's busy the last few weekends of lockdown.
I saw that you'd actually been doing some of the training with Ruan Tout, and I know that Ruan famously retired last year, and it was a big loss to the sport of quad racing, but looks like he's maybe a bit of a mentor to you up there at the moment.
Yeah, no, I look up to him.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys. I was real sad when I saw him hang up the boots, but everyone's got their financial limitations. I think it was him actually going into more of the work life as well. So it gets to us. It gets to us all. I'm sure we'll see him back riding again soon.
Yeah, no.
Clates, so for the guys out there in internet land watching and trying to find out a little bit more, the great thing about the lockdown format for us is finding out where you guys come from, and it looks like it was quads from birth practically for you. So tell me where it all began.
My dad just taught me about riding quads and everything, and I loved it like so much. And so quad riding is just, I love it a lot.
It seems like there's a big quad scene up there. In fact, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I know at Farm Jam 1 this year, there was a bigger quad entry than there had been at the GXCCs, which just shows how many guys actually race quads out there. What's the scene like? Is it just because of the terrain you guys ride out in Middelburg?
Yeah, I think so.
And definitely with a training facility like dirt tracks, that can't be too much of a bad thing, hey?
Yeah, no, it's really fun at dirt tracks. It's just not. It's motocross, it's enduro, and you can train every weekend if you want. So yeah.
When I look back at some of the pictures that you sent me across, it's actually amazing to think how quickly you've developed as a rider, and it's always been like you and the family hanging down there in the pits. We always find that at Middelburg anyway, but it really is the whole family that gets behind the whole racing scene, isn't it? How important is that for you?
Yeah. It's really important for me because I get a lot of support from my friends and family, and it helps me with my confidence a lot. So, yeah.
And tricks of the trade as well. Everyone's going to always pass on those little secrets.
Yeah.
I'd been talking to you before we got ready for our chat about some of the heroes, and we'll just go through them to start things off with. A guy that you actually got to race against this year as well, before he started to talk about his retirement, Johan Oosthuizen, like one of the tallest riders out there, but in the past, he has been one of the kings of Farm Jam. So tell me how you look up to him and how it feels to actually line up and ride against the big man.
Yeah, I just think Johan is really a good racer and a rider, and since he's a local racer, I've always seen him at Farm Jam, and I just look up to him for his riding style and everything.
He's got a riding style like no one else, because he's way too big for that thing. So he's always very dynamic on the bike. You're a kind of like shorter kind of guy, aren't you? I don't think you're quite 6 foot, so you fit a quad a little bit better than Johan.
Yeah.
Tell me what it meant to you when you actually lined up and went racing against him this year, though. That must have been quite something.
Yeah, I stressed a lot, but it was actually quite fun racing the guys that I look up to, and just seeing what I can get from them and experience some of the stuff. So
one of the other guys that you listed, and a guy that is probably one of the most famous quad racers in the country, incredibly enough, still came out of retirement just a couple of seasons back, Bustman, Jacques Struvic. I mean, he's got some pedigree. He was racing back against the very best back in the day, Leander Pienaar, Brian Baragwanath, and those guys, and he showed his pace this year, coming back and winning the opening 2 rounds of the GXCCs, that he can still fire, hey?
Yeah.
Tell me about what do you take out of his riding style, or is it just his pure speed that you like about the Bustman?
I just like his pure speed. My dad always told me that, if you train a lot in something, you can be better than someone, and I believe in it. So, I believe Bustman is really a great rider and everything. So,
This year, though, and for the last couple of seasons, there's been one man that's been the fastest on quads. And I think he's become the quad racing superstar of South Africa, if not Africa. And I'd love to see what he did if he went racing in the US. Hydan Jacobs, I mean, what can you say about Hydan, hey?
Yeah, no, I don't know what to say. Hydan is really a good rider, great, and he's fast.
He seems to do something that other people, like for the last couple of seasons, he's been the fastest hole shotter. And I think, I'm always going on about hole shots, and they are one of the most important parts of our sport, aren't they?
Yeah, no, hole shot. Yeah, if you dust, a lot of dust, if you don't get the hole shot, you're back behind someone in their dust. So hole shot is key if you get in front and try to stay in front. So, yeah.
And then the other rider you listed, and I'm so glad you did as well, because we just love being able to find any excuse to put shots up of this guy, David Stratum. I mean, the way that the guy hangs off the bike, he literally looks like no other. I mean, he could paint himself head to toe in red, and I would know exactly who he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got that amazing style.
Yeah, my dad is trying to get me to lean more to the side of the bike. So I'm really training at dirt tracks with a motocross track helps a lot with its turns and everything. So, yeah.
Have you got like a flat track out by your place where you can just practice purely just hanging off?
Not really. I think the track near my house is the closest one. So, yeah.
Let's start talking about some of the events where you started to shine then last year. Obviously, we've been working with the Farm Jam guys for the last couple of seasons, but from round number 4, we were actually doing the TV coverage for them, which meant we were able to get real up close and personal and start to find a couple of the celebrities and the stars of the future. And kind of that's where you came out of. You're always pretty good off the start. So if you can think back, tell us how round number 4 of the season went. Looks like you got a good pull off the gate, but maybe bogged down. I think you missed a gear there.
Yeah, no. I was really excited to get back on the bike because round 3 I crashed. So round 4 I was a bit nervous. But on the second lap something clicked, and
the Farm Jam races, with it just being a 30-kilometer lap, it means you're very busy from round number 2 or lap number 2. Lots of dust to deal with. So how do you manage that? Are you one of those guys that makes a pass quick, or do you take your time and do it safely?
Sometimes I take my time, most of the times, and make the pass safely. But there is another shortcut or path to go next to to lap someone. I take it.
You actually sent me some pictures of that mangled bike. I was actually trying to remember which round it was. So round 3, where you smashed up the quad and bent it in yourself. What actually happened there? Take us through the crash.
We got on this long straight with 2 bumps that bottoms me a lot, or any quad. So I went and I hit the first one, and I lost a bit of control, but I gained it back. And then the second one just came out of nowhere, and I hit it, and I think the bike threw me to the right side. So then I just crashed.
I can see the bars are completely spaghetti, which means it went over the front and maybe over the side as well. What was the injury that you picked up then as well, or is it just bumps and scrapes?
My knee hurt a lot. So, yeah. And then my back started to give me problems. but I'm fine now. So
Yeah. No, we saw that as you got into round number 5. I mean, you were bringing podiums all the way. So you were on the podium at round number 4. Round number 5, you could see you started to pick up the pace a little bit as well.
yeah,
And we changed the way that the races were running a little bit. I know rounds 4 and 5 we still started going down into the forest, but round number 6 is where we went motocross. You always seem to have to line up against those 4x4s though. Those things are just too hot off the line, eh?
yeah, I know. It's really tough to get past them off the line. So I mean, in the field, I just take them. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't have the top legs, do they? But they're just very good on the pullaways. Those
yeah,
races, you seem to always be battling with the late great Nico Zietzman. Zietzman was a good target for you in those early events,
yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah. No,
And then yeah, go ahead.
I really always chased them. So then I got stuck in mud and everything. Then I just picked myself up and go again, or I crashed a bit, just stood up and went racing again or anything. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost Nico after that round, but
yeah,
it was a tough pill to swallow. But everyone kept going out there and going racing. Round number 6 was essentially in his memory, and we all lined up there for a brand new look for the farm jam that time as well, didn't we? We ended off the season with the new lineup going into the motocross track. Was that something that you
yeah.
were pretty happy to see, or were you missing going into the dust that was the forest?
No, I actually was excited for the motocross track because we have a lot of space to take to get into the forest before you know. All we have,
Yeah,
yeah. So
it means you're not going straight into the dust. I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and the 4x4s, for some reason, they just didn't get the pull away on the motocross track. So it kind of
yeah,
went back
no,
to the LTRs and the Yammies to actually get the job done. But
yeah.
this was the race where I saw you lost a lot of weight before the end of the year as well, and started to look a little bit more like you were getting the training dialed in, and that's why the results started to come.
Yeah, no. At round 5, before round 5, me and my dad started training really hard. Round 6 came and trained really hard and everything. So yeah,
And were you able to make the decision there and then as to what you were going to do in 2016, or were you just waiting to see what happened in the off season before you made the decision that we'll talk about just now?
I don't. I thought for myself, yes, let's do another year about amateurs or anything. But then round 6 came and I won 2019 the year. So why do I need to stay in the class if I've already won it? So next step is pro class. So
Absolutely right. And I wish more people would make that decision as well. There's a lot of guys that maybe hang back and stay out there a little too long. So it was cool that we
yeah,
actually managed to get you your number 1 plates at the end of 2019. And then 2020, like you said to me, the TV crew went down there and I said, you got to go chat to old Clayton. He's moved up to pros. See how nervous the kid is feeling. So tell us, how nervous were you? Obviously, you'd done some prep on your bike. It was looking fresh, but you were looking nervous when we interviewed you.
yeah, no, I was really nervous. I don't really do good with interviews, so I was quite nervous when my dad told me I needed to chat to you guys. So, yeah.
Well, we were actually trying to make you feel like a pro because that's the whole idea.
Yeah,
And then obviously getting onto the lineup, the nerves were there, and you lined up against, well, quite a few of your heroes. David Straden was on your shoulder for that one, wasn't he?
yeah.
So tell me how
And
busy that gate was. I mean, it was a very, very tough first pro race for you. I don't think you whole shotted inside the top 5, so you were mid pack straight out of the gate on that one.
yeah, no, I actually held back to let the guys go in front because I don't want to keep them behind me. So, yeah, then my dad told me I don't do that. I go for the whole shot. They can get past me. So yeah,
Tell your dad I agree completely. Never hold back, buddy. Go for the whole shot. Go for the. If you're in front of them, they've got to get past you, and that's their problem, not yours. Yeah, and then it wasn't actually that long after Farm Jam 1. Obviously we went across, I think, about a week or two later to the GXCCs for their second round, but probably 2 weeks after that we went into lockdown. So
yes.
That was a little bit of a stall to your championship as well, because it looked like it was really going to be your year.
Yeah, I was really sad about it. I really enjoyed riding the pro class and everything, and I really love racing and riding. So the lockdown took a toll on everybody. So yeah.
No excuse to buy new kit either. That's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
What's happening with the scene up there? I mean, I chat to a lot of the guys, and Smallburger, all of a sudden he's bought a motorbike with only 2 wheels. What's going on?
Yeah, no, I was actually shocked when I saw it. So I don't really know, but I mean, he's really a great rider and racer. So yeah, let's see what he does on a 2-wheeler.
Yeah, I mean, we've been speaking to a lot of the guys. I chat to the 421 guys. They actually had a Dragon energy drink shoot this weekend, so it's going to be fun to see what videos and still pictures they get out of that one, because they were filming at Dirt Broncos. But it does feel in the last couple of weeks since we rolled into stage 3 that we're getting closer and closer to the chance to go racing. And I've actually seen adverts for a couple of races. Maybe the guys are trying to get something going. What are you thinking?
Well, no, I really can't wait anymore to go racing. I think everybody wants to go racing. So hopefully we can go racing soon and get out of this lockdown and everything.
Clayton, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for finding time in your school and training schedule up in Middelburg. And hopefully we see you on the line as soon as possible so we can keep your pro racing going. You've seen how the videos work at this stage. I hand across to you to say, if you want to say thank you to any of your supporters, partners and sponsors, this is your chance.
No, I just want to thank you, the dear Lord, for keeping us all safe in this times, and for keeping us all together. And then I just want to say thank you to my dad for helping me, for letting me race, and to all my friends and family for all their support and everything. And thank you for having me, Matt.
Only a pleasure, Clayton. It's been great to watch you develop as a young man and a racer alike. So thank you for your time, and we'll be speaking to you soon.
Okay.
Cheers. All right.
Cheers.
So from Clayton Botha, one of the future and potentially the now stars of quad racing, as we start to find new blood in the sport. We're going to be speaking next week to a guy that was almost untouchable a couple of seasons ago. 2020 has been a bit of a rough ride for him so far, but JC Nienhaber joins us live on Lockdown next week. We'll be talking about what it meant to him moving up onto the big factory support MCA whole shot Husky squad, and what he's going to do about getting fast once again in 2020 if we go racing again. Also, unfortunately, this weekend during a freak motocross training accident, a good friend of ours here on Hollywood Hills and LiveX, Airtime Erhard Bierkes, went down hard at the practice facility up in Middelburg and is currently in critical condition in ICU. And we're sending out our thoughts for a fast and speedy recovery. We want Airtime back on the gate and back winning once again. And we wish him a speedy recovery. We want to ask everyone to keep Airtime in their thoughts, and we'll see you guys live on Lockdown next.